Now, a second work holding device that you can use with the H-Series machine is the active jaw for the standard vise. This is used in combination with the fixture block. Now, it locks down into the dovetail slots exactly the same way as the fixture block. So this bottom section of the vise gets locked down into the dovetail, and the top portion is movable by this M4 screw here. And then on the top of the vise, we also have this pattern of M4 tapped holes at a 25mm spacing. So to make use of this, I'll slide it into one of the dovetail slots. And depending on the size of the part that I want to mount, I can either have the active jaw in one of the side dovetail slots or in the main dovetail slot if I have a larger part. Now both the active jaw and the fixture block have this lip around the top that is 3mm deep by 2mm wide, and the active jaw has it on 3 sides, the fixture block has that on 4 sides. So that's nice to quickly locate a part, to know that it's level, and to have clearance below it. So if we want to mill a feature or drill a feature down through the part, we have clearance below so we don't drive our tool into one of our fixtures. So say I want to mount this aluminum part to do a little rework on it, I can put the part on top of the lip on the fixture block, then locate the active jaw next to it. And now when I tighten down both of these, I want to make sure that I'm tightening down the same side so that they're both driven against the same side of the dovetail to make sure that they're well aligned. So I would tighten down my fixture block. And in this configuration, since I'm pushing in line with the dovetail, I want to make sure that I really torque down both the vise and the fixture block well. If I had the active jaw mounted in one of these side dovetail slots, I'd be pushing against the side of the dovetail, and then I'd know my fixture block isn't going to move when I torque down my active jaw. So in this case, I'm choosing to use the far side tapered blocks. Now generally at this point too, I want to push on the M4 screw to make sure that I slide the bottom portion of the active jaw as far as possible in that direction so that I have plenty of room to tighten the M4 screw, plenty of travel of that active portion. I'll lock this down, and then I'll tighten my M4 screw. So then my part's rigidly attached. I know it's flat, and I know it's aligned with my Y-axis. So then I can come down with my touch probe, find a feature on this part, orient it in space. I have my reference for my CAM software, and then I can start milling very quickly. So for rework, this is just huge. It makes setups very quick. There are hundreds of different ways to use these components. We'll go through a lot more of them in tutorial videos, but for now, this is just to give you an overview of how the basics work. Here's one more of the many ways that we can use these fixture blocks and active jaws. So say I've got this funky looking part that has 2 square sides and then a big radius on it, and an array of holes, but none of these holes are large enough, at least none of the regular spaced ones are large enough for me to use M4 screws through. One way that I can deal with this, rather than trying to clamp this with a rectangular block on a non-rectangular surface, I can use the heads of the M4 screws. I'll take these M4 by 6 socket head cap screws and mount them with a fender washer, a 1mm thick fender washer under each of them, and then put them in a pattern that agrees well with the part, and then I can tighten down my active jaw, driving this one screw into this radius, and that will drive it into this arrangement of screw heads that I have on these other 2 fixture blocks. So one of the things that we've tried to do with the H-Series machine is just reduce your setup times by giving you good work holding options. So to get you quickly from a part in your hand that needs rework or a piece of stock to locking that stock down in space and locating it with the touch probe, and then you're off and running cutting material.